Hello, good afternoon, good morning, and good evening, wherever you're watching us from. My name is Derek Danso. Na ene jumedie no onyankopon wa ma yakonya se yensua ade emfa Judaism eho. Na world religion na this year onum no ye no adiscuss ne ma bebre. Emre bi etwem no ye no hyase se ye hwe asumi ti se Hinduism, asumi ti se Buddhism. Ebi ya what is asumi din but on shada nim bibia efa ho. Ye Christopher a ye wo dwumedi a na se nyankopon de dwumedi bi a hye ensa se yenko wiase afa na nyankopon asempankyira bode nyinaa no asede se ye behwe asoma hodo no e wo wiase no na eba se ye ne won edi nkomo asua ade a ye hu kwan a ye befa so a ye beye no mesre se onje bre enhye video no ma foforo na wa hye ama foforo na dwumedi no se ne ye no no unya baso pe na wa subscribe na wa share na wa follow maybe be our on X, on Facebook, on YouTube, or TikTok. We will be able video no. Na oni why am I yensa na abo ama dwumedi na akọ ohwe no na wo share so ama afoforo. Enne me wo minia Michael Anan Kasukuse e wo me nchen a ye ba bedisa enkomo yi. Na enne de no ye ba behwe ne bi say the origins of Judaism. Judaism no unim say ye biblical Judaism, ne ye modern Judaism. Na unim ni sa we ni bebre na enne ye besua ho ade se e bia be video ni later so na wakai se wo be bɔ mmɔden na wo de ama afoforo enso minia Michael me mo akwa ba
yeah nua
na wapom ti sen
nyame adom me ho ye na wonso ye
nyankopa darama bibia bɔkɔ enne nkomo no ye sua ade afa Judaism, what you need to know about Judaism. Enti ye ba betie nsem bebre efi ohonom na migidi se wa ye krado
me pa twan my ready pa
okay and ye answer kra na obehye ase no me pese obedi kan ate world religion addition no ho kakra obedi kan summarizing niam ya kakra abepem this point no na ya to aso afri eho
okay ye di kan mechia obibia a ohwen ye nuanom a omunya bre anytime I say ba live on Facebook any YouTuber almost spending almost time on data na almost joining and say nyina ebesua de I think say the papa no more no some of them share our videos and then some too almost sua nema bebre fimu ama feedback ayenya no e kire say nema eboa for yenyina yen growth as Christians enti yebeda obibia se na said the odi kan kai no obibia obedwan no so yebe encouraging so obe share video na ma foforo now say we bisa about what we've done so far world religions mo the di kan no me ne won ye nua obed meka obed moses say obed mu na akoye mienu the kan kai introduction about world religions and here say was say ye discuss world religions and nema bia meka say ye kan ye ne the fact say sisia nema bibra happen in yen wiase mu ha no bebre na influenced by religion nti say one shedan sua na one tia sentia omo ye na it will be difficult for you to even understand the current happenings but with me era esua nema kakra efa world religions wa it me buama with me tin nema bi ase say adentina for instance we call in the land of Palestine between the modern Israel and some other nations obetinon to kwane sa nema no with me sua world religions ya with me tia sentia okay say na omuye sa nema no aside that no we learned also to understand say world no abeye global village you can reach out to people everywhere in this world either through virtual means like social media and other platforms or even yemu bebre na ye nyuma ma edien ekupi amama hodo bebre so and when that happens you come into contact with different cultures and most of them no omo belief system na nema bebre no influenced by religion crowd omukremu and so it also helps you to be able to understand the culture and all those aspects now the ultimate way in say and na obenya no and a bit me aboa when it comes to the opportunity for you to share the gospel with them with me to boase nema mu na with me understanding from their perspective e be easier ma say when you bit me aka onyankopon ansem kwan a very easy for them to understand nti ene ne the very first video no second one no mankasa mentimi anjoin it, but the mekai no we study some things
Yenya
about
Obed.
Hinduism ne Buddhism. These
Yeah.
two religions no religions bi a kakra. Yes, and I brother, yeah, Obed Edufo na odi yemfemu na later no me hwɛ lesson no now I was very impressed because on the sometimes onya brethren from different perspectives to share their ideas on such topics are very insightful, and I am really grateful to our brother Obed for insight now or the mind in these particular two lessons no.
Yeah.
Enti basically eno na yaye na ene a me no wo kasa no ye behwe Judaism, but say me nkomo bebre no I think say the videos are on platforms are obi bia betimi
Exactly.
access
Na me
na
pese
wati amane ho.
me di bibi kakra
Enti say
eka
we
ho.
bisa yeah.
Yes. The na me pese me de ka ho ne say un say ye share
Uh-huh.
sa lesson we say as concerning world religions. No ade ba kwa me ho ne say nipa dodo na no lesson no a bit detailed. Ne say enti no say e ba say yen fa ne yen gibre nsua ho ade na na ebi mu ho no ma omopopo omo ho kakra. But say wo gibre enya abotre hwe lesson no step by step a hu say ensem bebre na yaka na ensem no nso very necessary say ebeboa ma ye nyina yetumi ehu ne no kre ene ne enye no kre. If it says so be catch you say ono nso ne suma wo mu no correct. Sometimes we need to be careful to how I approaching because wo say wo de na ye ono nso say ne de na ye obi mpo tumi ka say o munya ni nyina obi ade mpo ebi enu no me papa wo sa approach no medical ka say enye the right approach. I didn't think enye the right approach. Ma me no nko Bible mu kakra. Na sa Bible passage we say no ma very interested in it. Na say me no share lessons like this now. I na me prefer say here because there are some people or other religions, especially in Galatians chapter 2. Maybe alcohol temper na me no ahwe. Enche me di minua Michael besa abim na waba na yedi nko. Galatians chapter 2. Yen hwa ade bi verse number 11 and I say verse 13. Yes. Say verse number 11. Asema okanye. Mami mane nya kese na muhu. Yes. Say me pa cho muhu a me gidi say obia ehu ni ye. Okay. Where Galatians 2 verse number 11 I say now Peter had come to Antioch. I withstood him to his face because he was to be blamed. For before certain men came from James, he would eat with the one group of the Campbell on the Gentiles. Now so she ne say if we say where verse 12 and say na nipa bi a wofi Yakubu nchen nunya man no na one amanamamufuo edidi. So first group are Gentiles, the second group, but when they came, he withdrew and separated himself, fearing those who were of the circumcision. Adentina Peter through ye. Religion, ye di, sa wan jibra hwemu ya, the problem be beba. Osum biya ne dia omo ye. Osum ya ne nyama omo ya nyankopon na ogitum. Na ye bisa se so okwa Bible mu so nyankopon ne one of the circumcision Bible be ka kire and the rest of the Jews. Sa Jew for we no one na ye born din say Judaism or some friend say Judaism. Eno ho komo na ne ye di. Na esan say sa nuanum nyama na Peter ne one way amanamamu for Ghana for yenye Israel for ti amanamamu for na one okaben won ni won didi ni won nya nyoma. Nanso sa ni nuanum ye Jew for ba enko ade o se onko won ho bio adentia. Na oto asusua ade a o say also played the hypocrite with him so that even Barnabas was carried away with their hypocrisy. Verse 14. But when I saw that they were not straightforward about truth of the gospel, I said to Peter, now Paul ekanini. Now say usua ade to aso a Paul me be ti ase say wono ankasa no na okasa Jew for we hu na o Jew for sum no ansa na wo free Jew for sum no aba Kristo sum. Na me bisa wasem kakra say Paul mpo say na Bible eka na ho asem a say kane no na o baabi Peter na o Jew for sum mu ansa na oba be Kristo ni James na o Jew ni ansa na oba be Kristo ni a eno kwanpo kire o say yehu asoma hodo mienu e wo ha sei na say sa na ti a na ye bi say your question say so enne no yes ye Christopher enna na ene ye bomodin ase ene afoforo besua de mo wa ba be Christopher question is so ye ne say nuanum yi no nsonsoye dantem obi ade obi aye no nyankopon ogitum ana se onyintum patcho ne men kan kakra na me family Michael emra enkomoni verse 13 Galatians 1 verse 13 Bible say for you have heard of my former conduct in Judaism, how I persecuted the church of God beyond measure and tried to destroy it. Another religion. First one, or say, you have heard of my former conduct where? Ewo Jew for some there, not Peter, any James Muwomuno. Or say, na me wo hobby, na me a Jew ni, I was in Judaism. My former conduct, just as you see, no, onka hu free honum now say I persecuted the church of God. This is Christianity. Bra Christosum shase no. Paul shase say or ta asafo no. So okay Acts chapter 8. Bra persecution ba asafo no so a abrante ba ko di mu ntintima kese pa na ye Paul. Enti Yesu hu ade wa ha se ne ba be hu say na Paul na otan sa asafo no. Na say oto aso say he even wanted to destroy it. And I advanced in Judaism beyond many of my contemporaries in my own nation, being more exceedingly zealous for the traditions of my fathers. Fathers, man, Jew for now. But when it pleased God, who separated me from my mother's womb and called me through his grace to reveal his son in me, that I might preach him among Gentiles. Ya sounds who Gentiles no have you. Enti ni ye wo Jewfo som ni wa manamamufo o se eso nyankopon ani nyankopon yi ni fi Jewfo som ni mu e de ne ko bia foforo bi sa bia foforo na Yesu ye de ne ko ye no e na Kristosom mu Colossians 1:13 e be chire mu ama ya te ase na sei na ti a ni ye bisa se so ni na enne obi so ye Jew ni a o ye Kristo ni ana obi ka so wo Jewfo som ni mu a na o ye Kristo ni ana enti se wanje bra hwe sansense mu ese mu afa ba betuntum afra enti we ene ye nua Michael oba be do mo suko abo am ehu the origins of sa Jew for some no ni ya bisi ehun se so ene nyankopon de ye adwuma ana se onfa anya adwuma nyankopon so ode ye adwuma sen so onfa anya adwuma sen mi nua Michael e krado enti ye nche ye beko na ye ne no edi nkomo sa afi na oba dwumedi ni so a obetimi do comment aba na yehu se won so o hwe be bibia hwe efiri no obetumi do comment number na ye no I interact so all question nso a obetumi e de aba minia so wo so a ye ni nkomo.
Okay, I think say meniaji verse na okuti yes pa because actually one of the important verses anka yebeka ho asem but yent me anto asa adwumadi sukrampo no na say yebisa about spotlight Judaism I think say this verse will summarize everything for the fact say ma it me ehun say not Paul Mpono in his writings no stated say na kanen no wo the Jews religion in the Jews religion no reference no any Judaism and eba ka ho asem nti I think say a very important you can say message with the mind and passage with the mind but said we can kai no and then much of it is about the historical context how it all started and all those kind of things nti nyame ya aduma ebia your next lessons no ye betu emboase na yesua the modern one ye ka ho asem no and some of statements bia ebe make ebi obi nti ase na ya kyerɛkyerɛ mu ni ade die di kan kra no em say when your brother Obed any ensua ade some time ago no I remember say he made mention of monotheistic religions are omuji nyame baako etumu obo Christianity obo Judaism and obo Islam say mekaya that is we na all kan ho asem no enti say ye ka Judaism die di kan no akoye say ebi kwampo frɛ no Abrahamic religions in a sense yeka Christianity Abraham obi a odi akotin wo Christianity mo because say yebeka about Christianity enim say onyankopon echusu Abraham na oka say Abraham ase ana obi be free Abraham ase aba no no onyankopon benam ne so ama nipa nyina abehu onyankopon han no nti out of Abraham ne seed no ebenam ne so ama amanamamufo nyina abeye onyankopon ahini a na abeka onyankopon ahini ho na se yeka Judaism a se de yenua Derek echichi ma no ma invest na yeti ase no ye nema mienu ana miensa bi a very important when you are talking about Judaism ni history in the Bible no. Now one thing is that Judaism and to say other religions na you can want them to say be a Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism, animism, this anima no. Those ones there was a call read omo books ni omo nema every other sources. But say Judaism you don't really need to do much because most of the thing that we need to know about Judaism no ni nyina e wo Bible mu na ye read a ye be den ye be hu eno na make say verse na odi nkan de ma enpo edi adanse e kire say ampa sana religion bi wo Bible no mu a na ye Judaism enti most of the time say ye sua Bible na ye to ebu ehu a ye be hu say empo in the Bible no ye hu Judaism wo ho ena ye hu den Christianity wo ho and apart from that ye hu amanama musom a wo ka no to say Gentiles almost some ni sa nema na ekoso enti de edi kan no say Judaism no, we'll talk about Abraham because it starts from or the beginning is from Abraham. Now why would we talk about Abraham? Right from the time Abraham was called enti mepesenka ye better any Bibles no to Genesis chapter 12. Genesis chapter 12. Yes, Genesis chapter 12. Yes. So obit me a project here. Na yakinkan.
12 verse.
And it started from verse 1. No?
Okay. I said, now the Lord had said to Abram, get out of your country, from your family, and from your father's house to a land that I will show you.
Yeah.
She said, now Abram said, what dear, if you are so na ne wabusia mua ni weja fie ko asase a me chere wo no so.
Yeah. Continue.
Verse 2 no say, I will make you a great nation. I will bless you and make your name great. And you shall be a blessing. You shall be a blessing. I will bless those who bless you and I will curse him who curses you. And in you, all the families of the earth shall be blessed.
But to also copy verse 7, no?
Verse 7, 4, no say, so Abram departed as the Lord had spoken to him, and Lot went with him. And Abram was 75 years old when he departed from Haran. Then Abram took Sarai, his wife, and Lot, his brother's son, and all their possession that they had gathered, and the people who had acquired, the people whom they had acquired in Haran, and they departed to go to the land of Canaan.
Okay, so I think that Odi see what cram for until the very first thing and me say yes from this verse and say also I can say I will make thee of a great nation. Until Onyankopon okay verse 1 and 2 now Onyankopon eka say obe make or mine be a free Abraham. And also can say apart from that no or say and from thy kindred and from thy father's house unto a land that I will show thee. Until you say there is some kind of land promise that Onyankopon can say or the beye or the bema Abraham and or betre Abraham as I see or the beye or the bema Abraham. Until ahano we see the land promise and yehu the fact that Onyankopon say out of Abraham no obe created a nation. Now so even up to verse 3 now I will bless them that bless thee, and curse him that curse thee, and indeed shall all families of the earth be blessed. And not just a nation, but through Abraham. No, if you are seeing na you are seeing Musia Kuina no. On bed on benya onyankopon mu chefam bi esan say onyankopon eyi Abraham. And from the beginning no Abraham you be onyankopon chusu no say obi a ne mu onyankopon di Israel for no be den ebeba. Na Israel for no say de yedi kanka ho asem no na enye se onyankopon etusu omo se omo nko ane nkrofo a onyankopon any warm so there be nemom there is a purpose means say onyankopon per se Israel for enamom so na in the end no onyankopon edi you can say Messiah na beba na in the end no onyankopon na Messiah no so ayeden agi wiase nyina enkwa nti say ye read Genesis chapter 12 the ehunu said there is a land promise and then there is a nation promise that was also given to what Abraham nti when we are talking about Judaism the very first place ye be hye Genesis chapter 12 now when you read even up to Genesis chapter 17 Bible eka be about Abraham in Genesis chapter 17. Or see and minim okay you project Genesis 17 no but make me read or see when Abraham was 90 years old the Lord appeared to Abraham and said to him, I am Almighty God, walk before me and be blameless and also can say and I will make thee or my covenant between you and would multiply you exceedingly. Then Abraham fell on his face and talked with him and saying, as for me, behold, my covenant with you, and you shall be a father of many nations. No longer shall your name be called Abraham, but your name shall be Abraham. And see, in verse chapter 17, so no, the same statement on Yankupon Eka, no, or catch almost say, or be making a nation out of Abraham. Nti say read all these verses na edi adanse say eye bo sha onyankopon di nkan edema Abraham say ne mu obe create nation bi and apart from that no osama no hu say or the assassins be den ebe hye ne nsa now not to bore you so much of the history no and to go back and forth no ni tintin tiete no say this is a reference to the fact that onyankopon ema Abraham yere Sarah den ewo ye ema ninya Isaac from Isaac be wo Esau and Jacob out of Jacob and the 12 tribes of what Israel. Now the 12 tribes of Israel no say we read history in kakra and now we read the book of entire when from Genesis chapter 38 we be how Joseph ended up in you can say in Egypt and an in Jacob ewu ho ma Joseph so in the end no Joseph ebeye den ebewu ye ama Israel for no ebedane enkwa edima Egypt for no esan say they came a time a Pharaoh bi ba ya na sa Pharaoh no onim contribution dodo a Joseph any Jew for no eye edima ye can say Egypt for no until in the end no sa particular Pharaoh no e decide say obeta omoni because na onyankopon ehira Israel for no to the extent say Israel for now no mo ye empo ahoho ewo Egypt no they will be becoming exceedingly mighty and even mightier than the Egyptians so they realize a threat anka modern world that you say no more xenophobic you can say expressions it's not say xenophobia no say fear of foreign people say a man from abet na masase so na mustro say anye bia dachi omo be fa masase no na mumu ma be ye enkwa amamu so they have that fear and so one way Pharaoh ehun say obetumi asoppress sankofo say they will enslave them on be ma slaves no more akunkum mo na mo ataw mo to the extent say in the end no Israel will continue to diminish and diminish and diminish until Israel is no more a nation but the unfortunate thing for Pharaoh is say na the UAF say anase mpo onim say onyankopon edikanka back in Genesis say Israel no and Abraham no na say and onyankopon be create sa oman konko no enti history no eto aso am I the betia say in Exodus they say they display what you can say screen no so edit show no say Israel for no more Egypt and bondage the bondage of the Egyptian bondage no more home Egypt for no edi omo fan nema basa basa mu kopim bra na omo shase so omo tietie mu omo su egu onyankopon so omo hwehwe se onyankopon beba be yi omo efisa enkwaso mu na onyankopon enam sa Israel for na so ema eyi ye kan say Jochebed any Amram ewu Moses ma Moses be ye leader na owo Pharaoh fie ma in the end no the ACA nyina no ama Moses free from you can say Pharaoh fie no Moses eba back ebe yi Israel for edifisa Egyptian bondage no na bra na we read the book of Exodus e kono yehu several nneɛma a esisi yɛn ni ade. Now in this place, no, we read the book of Exodus now. The scene na ne say, "Some nation na Onyankopɔn promise here na ɔka ho asɛm in the book of Genesis say, out of Israel no be create a nation." In fact, he mentioned nations, which when we are to stretch it, Yebeka say, apart from Isaac, no, there were other people Onyankopɔn, there were other descendants free Abraham mu eba any another discussion. But the person mentioned say Onyankopɔn ema hu say sa promise na odima Abraham no na enya ade Onyankopɔn be ma nipa ne mo be ye bi ayede ama sa promise no ayekwa. Nti Onyankopɔn efa Israel for free Egypt. Ma ɔne ɔmo nam srɛ no so saa afidi ɔmo for about 40 years Onyankopɔn ɛne ɔmo fa srɛ no so to the point afɛdeɛ ɔmo duru Mount Sinai. I think aha no yɛbɛ pause na read Exodus chapter 19. Yɛn read Exodus chapter 19 kakra. In Exodus chapter 19 no say yes, so now Israel is at Mount Sinai. Israel is at Mount Sinai. Now ɛhɔ no ɛna ɔsi in the third, I think say yɛbɛtumi ayɛ in the third month after the children of Israel had gone out of the land of Egypt, on the same day they came to the wilderness of Sinai, for they had departed from Rephidim and came to the wilderness and camped in the wilderness. So Israel camped there before the mountain. Enti ahano okay, so move free Rephidim. No, Rephidim is like the very first stop at Omumeki. No, enti from a move to what Mount Sinai. Now Mount Sinai and a ye who say Onyankopɔn enam ne D4 Moses so the 10 commandments ana emra efa said the was say Israel for no omo bra finally so omo into the promised land no ehona na Onyankopɔn ni samra no na Moses so ma Israel for no. Now remember that in the book of Genesis you will say omo promise concerning the fact say all be making nation out of Abraham and the fact that he was going to give a land. And then now the third thing we see is finally the giving of the law. Enti geography no ne sa ne say yaka oman a nema miensa nkrofo no mo oman no the people. And apart from that no the territory and a land no oman no ewo no the to so miensa law. Enti hemrana nkrofo no mo oman no citizens no ombe den omo be di so no ana ombe hwe no mo dia atnatna asase so ho no sa ade no enema bibitmi ebeye oman. Now the unique thing about Israel for the say na emra na omo de ma omo no ana Onyankopon na Moses de ma omo no is not just for any civil way but and also a religious law. Enti eya yeka theocracy no I say Onyankopon mua oni omo memfa say nka na yebeka oni omo president ono anse ni omo Nyankopon. Enti sa law no Onyankopon de ma omo no it serves two purposes. So a guide them in terms of religious matters, and then another thing is that a guide them in terms of civil matters. And this will be a repeal God forbid. Sunday man, a law no more and input to the extent that things concerning health, nina ewa emranmo. Said the most bit me and you can say priest no bet me determine say so be where you we and Sunday many na wo Lord mo. It said no Nyankopon is creating a unique people. Nkrofo a omo amamuo ene omo som ene de omo beye bia embe yet say amanamamufo no a unique people ene Nyankopon create. Said the beye a sa nkofo yi omo bra no bibia beye sununko from what we see in the world. It say bra no na Onyankopon ama memfa ne so Onyankopon ama obonsam kwan to the extent say mmea ahodo bebre no Onyankopon di omo sunkunim pa mo omo di omo hoje asom different idolatry abusonsum ni sa nema no but na no nkyere say no sankrofo omo nim Onyankopon. One of the thing Yesu Bible sometimes we mistakenly think say sometimes na Onyankopon echusu Israel no ne omo nante no na kyerɛ sɛ other nations na maka no Onyankopon egya wɔn saa Onyankopon ɛmfɔ mo nyɛ hwee no Onyankopon ne ɔmo ni hwee yɛ debi. God still had a control over these nations, but the only important thing is that na Onyankopon ɛwɔ purpose bi sɛ ɔbɛnam Israel for no so na in the end no ewiase nyinaa abɛyɛ ɔno Onyankopon ɛdea in terms of spiritual relationship no. Enti na Israel for no Onyankopon ɛfɔ mo sɛ ne nkrɔfo a ɔmo yɛ sononko different from the rest of the world. And when you read the entire book of Exodus now, who say finally no Israel for no make successive journeys into the land of Canaan. And in Exodus chapter, sorry, we read it from the book of Exodus now. What was in the book of Exodus now? Book B to say Numbers. Saa time no still no more no so. Book B to say Leviticus. Now saa time no more then almost no so. Even up to Deuteronomy, now saa time no afena all preparations to actually enter the promised land. That is where we read about the demise of Moses and the transition of leadership from Moses to what? Joshua. Throughout the book of Joshua, no, we read to understand saying finally Israel for no more then enter assassin no land of Canaan na onyankopon di nkan de share Abraham bono sisi an onyankopon de salan no finally or the ayede or the ama Jew for no and apart from that no Joshua eboamo e divide sans assassin and many nyina. Now there is something in Joshua chapter 21 I will say ye ready na yeti ase I if we can project Joshua chapter 21 na ye ready from verse 43 I think say yebenya entiase bi wo ho. Joshua 21 verse 43. The book of Joshua. Yes, Joshua chapter 21 verse 43. So the Lord gave to Israel all the land of which he had sworn to give to their fathers, and they took possession of it and dwelt in it. The Lord gave them rest all around according to all that he had sworn to their fathers, and not a man of all their enemies stood against them. The Lord delivered all their enemies to their hand. And in Joshua chapter 21, it's so interesting. Say, Onyankopon edi no boshe so. Sesi a oyi enkrofo no efri Egypt. Enti yenim say no mo your mind here. Bra no mo nam wilderness no so. Now they are in that preparation stage. But omanya omuni territory. Omanya omuni asase. Enti bra no mo kono Onyankopon nim say asase ne de me de be mo mo. Enti no di nkan eye de omo law. So now the nation they have a law, but what is their land? In Joshua 21 verse 43 okachen say Onyankopon e de asase na o de show omo fathers no him for no kan ho asem oka Abraham, because Abraham ne de di nkan make kan ho asem. From Abraham no na e call then Isaac, and from Isaac no e call Jacob, from Jacob no na yenya the 12 tribes omo beye oman Israel na Moses edi omonim e de call the promised land hono. Enti aha edi adanse say ampa Onyankopon emom land no, Onyankopon emom asase, Onyankopon emom the law ana emra no ewo somwe den omudidi so. And Onyankopon eyo into a unique people oman sununko ewo no Onyankopon ni. So if you are asking for basis of Judaism aha ena ni nyina efri, because ankrofo law no Onyankopon de mom no. It can say it is also to guide them in terms of their worship or more religious aspect. Internet civil law keke. It's not just about amamu say we amanama na we see amamu keke. Debi nemom a religious law a chomo niema bibrewa somo ye omoni omo nyankopon apamna omo oni omo nyankopon entemno. So that is where the whole thing started. Enti say yenua danso wa ha me pese minim so question bi wo this part now, and then I zooming into Brana Israel beye or mine who say after Joshua any wait omo benya judges the first judge ni Othniel, from Othniel no the very last judge I can want some Samuel. Now beka say Brana Samuel ebe efri asase ha no Israel for eka chire say my ohene said ye amanama mu for no omo de ye den ete no aha it from a hono ye be hu yes ye be hu ahene. And even one thing is so we read the Bible now. So interestingly, Jew for no money on history. Obekaya in the book of Acts chapter 7, Abraham 7, all recounting all the things that have happened. So surprisingly, yes, when you go to Nehemiah chapter 12, Abraham Nehemiah airborne pie Emma or mine. Saturday we are making in Anke was a maker. I no answer me do Nehemiah. Now Yesha say ready. No beka send many na actual. Said the Onyankopon di omo fa sa akwan ahodo nyina so ebesi sampepe so enti that is the origins of Judaism.
Now unim say Nyankopon ya adoma e wo say judges no ye beje brani ahwe judges no baako because Bible ni yesua sa nyema yesua ye fa no 111 unfortunate says nipa bebre en share ne nso nye se wonimo wate but on share ne nso say sa Jew for history no le be say Jew for no but kwame na Jew for no fa so e sha say e ma enne nyankopon fa sa osum no na adwuma no de kristosum na eye adwuma how
exactly
no nipa bebre en share that en hwe Old Testament me ne kan me di o but ujibre sua very interesting pa na said your woman your origin no woman your history no 11111 now the FM no me pese me bisa kakra ansa na ya to aso say so Nyankopon fa Abraham echire ofa ne ba Jacob nam Isaac ebenya Jacob ma Israel ebaaye no so wo Israel fo mu no santi asie anase nyema na Nyankopon ne won eye no omujitu mu yeye anase omanje antuma anya bi se yenim hwe kurampo no yenim se Israel fo ende omudi nyame echi ochinoma ye bone ye de omakonko asu mu omapenya me di ache won na cycle no kosa me pese wo be comment on eno no kakra na uwia o ka se mi se nipa be na
mami clarify o question no and you better watch say history na ye kan wasem no wo pese obisa say modern Israel no say omoji sa nema no any all those things that happen according to Old Testament ya ye kan no etu ana anya sa na wo bisa
obetimi afa ne sa kwan ba wo the question for aba but the me bisa no ejina Israel ye ni mo Bible mu say sa Israel fo no se ne na wo omo cycle no ti say eno mu di nyame echi na o ma sesa o ma bi na o ma ye fom so ene niema ye hu no enne no nsonsonia bi wo ana say that particular Israel no how were they from nkomo na wo di ni kire say nyame ma omo mra omujitu muso mo nyame be nante ana say nyame de share one go who can now say mo ye unique was it their choice to be unique ana say oh nyame ane ya nsoma say beje wa no force ye na o say ye ni mu answer we ya na me second question na be
okay enti say de ubisa no say ubisa dia meka ne say wo say Israel ni bi eni ho a ana say wo hwe Israel from Bible mu a Israel for na omani eje ana omani so say onyankopon eni omo enante wo even up to today there are people ana wo call Palestine Israeli for no more ho no there are people today who still hold allegiance or who still hold beliefs they are some special people omo no nyankopon enante na sa land no mpo a ewo ho na eno there another discussion na be kan ho asem they have some form of what right over that particular adeno into the ambassador me kan e kan say they did kind of they had that you can say enije ana that kind of openo say ye be from so onyankopon enkofo ana nkofo a omo ye special to onyankopon but said here many who enim no today how many of us won't be happy to be called Christians? We are all happy to be called Christians, but the issue is that emra efa Christosum ho ne say onyankopon pese ye believe abrabo bi a reflect Christianity no most of the times no eno no de ye sheda pemfa enye edwuma nti though the Israelites no who read the Bible now what me won say omo because the entire makers and say one say in the book of Exodus no or the current catch say that time no na Israel for no omo won kwasum they cried unto God and onyankopon esuma Moses e ma ne beyi wo na wona wo sat bia mu na onyankopon enam kwan bi so abeyi wa won't you be happy about that particular thing onyankopon ayama no you would definitely be happy so yes enti omonije saade no ho they realize they had that kind of special relationship with onyankopon but said omuye nipa no most of the times no mra no onyankopon dia ma omo se nanka onyankopon de ope bibi papa ma Israel for the say out of them or see in the book of Isaiah or see Israel for no a light unto other nations what you say san onyankopon pese omo but unfortunately no omo human nature ne sa nipa suna onyankopon epe ade papa bia ma na yenso yedi nipa adwene sa ne manema no eno na ema ekoye se na omo akọ bone na onyankopon esuma ana onyankopon ama nation bia bedu omo so just to teach them a lesson na omo repent akọ back to onyankopon na omo asaye bone na. And so that cycle what continues. And today sometimes I am
Okay. Brian Chema, Yenya Michael Aban, knows a few comments about comment session in Tibedi Komoka Krabina, Yatwasu Yenya Joel, Yadas Pass or full program. No. So YouTube, I'll bet me sending you no comments. Ama ya kind of comments nama way free coffee do before or say great Yadas Pa and Ajiman Joseph or say watching live from Sunyane, Yachia Sunyane for now. Today there was and then the last day of the Bible youth camp I course so in Sunyane and he said Utimi Babia Yankopon just went to me and course our youth camp ni bin so Oko Chariot TV page YouTube Facebook ubenya lessons ni nyina hono very great lessons from Yebra Dan preacher Dan Tre Mensa NFA Yebra Dan also Siaman afe Mr. Yosin Yebra Yosin from Cape Coast. Omumi and Sana Mokasina, yes, on Sunday and sermon from Yebra Emmanuel Aibiafo. And so when tie emubia, I'm just encouraging you to go to Charity TV and I say Sunyane Church of Christ page or Facebook or submit to me akanina. Michael Kasano, na me pese me the Bible verse bi ebra na ye nyina ye se betumi e de di ho nkoma. Exodus chapter 19 verse numbered 1 ekosi verse number 8. I say so asema Bible e ka che efa Israel for hunie. Nyankopon ka che won say verse 5. Now therefore, if you indeed obey my voice and keep my covenant, then you shall be a special treasure to me above all people, for all the earth is mine. Now to us verse 6. I say, and you shall be to me a kingdom of priests and a holy nation. These are the words which you shall speak to the children of Israel. They say go and tell the children of Israel no condition in the if statement, a conditional sentence in the if se mubetie wotwi no ewa ha ye verse number 5 no twi ne sesen o say na afei se mubetie me ne na mwadi mapa no so a ene mubeye magyapade a esombo efri amanyina mu na me na asase nyina wo me enti Nyankopon wan hye Israel for se ne enua Michael ekirekire ye mu no omo option no even after se musu kire na okoje omumpo echi no osanso mo choice no to make that choice. Today we also have that opportunity. Yankopon my choice ne say so. Yemmeye Christopher anase yemmeye Christopher no the choice na share nsem. Na se pese yemmeye Christopher my choice ne say yen sacha yadwen yemmeye kwan mo ye nesu. Che Yesu Christo dimu na saa de okan yo say odo abeka na safo no. Ukoso abo abrabo etene a nkwaje etumi edimo. Enti se ne oyema Israel for no the choice ma won. And the yes my choice. Say in your Michael Ekradwa, yemre no ekwa ne sima enum na ode abo dwumedie no tofa na next week say ejibra ye no asanso ehia na yesua ade. Michael so ho a
hey Kwame sima enum die ene la it's a found
next week ya jibra no asanso
okay Matthias and back to the na wo kano in Exodus chapter 24 verse 3 no Moses ekoka sansem ni nyina ekire Israelfo no the Bible no kan say Moses came and told the people all the words of the Lord and all the judgments, and all the people answered with one voice and said, all the words which the Lord has said we will do. Nti said na wo kano fine onyankopɔ yi mu owie no oye saa nyeme nyina ma mo osan ehwe mu saa bɔ no sɛ moyɛ sei ni sei na memeye mu ama Israelfo nyina egitu mu sɛ di onyankopɔ anka nyina yɛbɛyɛ na ade ba kwa na wɔ sɛ kan ne sɛ in the book of Deuteronomy nso no in Deuteronomy chapter 28 especially omo woyɛ sei na a we na beto woyɛ sei na a we na beto enti wa mo right to choose so omo bedi onu nyankopon echi ana say omo befa kwan a na enye di onu nyankopon ayeden akyerem the blessings of obedience and the curses of disobedience ni na onyankopon edemom enti in summary no the ambesa me kyerɛ ne say onyankopon ema saa akwanya no now to end well no yet me who say after the book of Judges no onyankopon mom different judges no ye be who say omo benya kings into the very first king ye be ka ho asem Saul under the United Kingdom no there was Saul.
Israel for mu no bra nyankopon yi won a ode omonam so man no ye benya judges sansa na judges ne ye wa hemfo ho
say ye wo judges no mu eba yansa na ahemfo ne ba on say ahemfo no ti say ebi ti say Samson obi ti say ye kan say Gideon obi ti say judges no eba
atemuafo ana Israel mu
exactly atemuafo nti eno ye right after Joshua ne enkoye no no sisi they have become a people settled in the lands nti nyankopon hu say saa enkofo yi no omo ba no de na Moses na di omochi na Joshua beto so but sisi they have different territories lands some are even living across the Jordan nti e was say omo chite omo no omo enianimfo na ebusiakuo no leaders near they but within them no ye wo the oye atemuani on say Moses that part of work no brana Moses Jethro ebe visiting Moses no we didn't ask them but no Moses ajeje exactly enti otimi hu say ho na saa ade ni nyina efri enti judges ni free ho no e na won benya kings no the kings no Saul echi no ye can say David e na David echi no ebe ye Solomon na Solomon na ono ohwe a ni wechi no ema ye can say oman mu be che mu mienu ye wo Rehoboam na o control the northern part and obey Israel sometimes ye frɛ omo Ephraim because na the Ephraimites no and na Ephraim for no ye dominant
no baby a wedu no very crucial pa me pese ye san beti mu bi
enti me venti ho
na me pese ye be jampe ho no if it's danger make us say this portion of lesson no ye entirety especially ye tight and so in Israel mu che too in your northern kingdom your southern kingdom but what happened then them back here more mu che too what we need to know about Judaism
Judaism okay
they ma ye tiefo nyina homework ye nyina ye ma ye homework but me pese ye mre na aka ni so pa se wo di be domosuko comment bi so aba me pese me fanti nyankopon ya adoma next week ni yen sha ase mfi ha sei no na bua ye ma yen ti ase se so die na si ma judges no nyame epo on o can briefly but me pese o de be cover verses ni mu na aboa ma ye tiefo ahwe na anye se ye tunrika fa adesua ni because me hu say me matwe me pen me paper wa say me joti nso ma o kan pa ti me stress na be ya ebe ma adesua no be flow ye ti no me fa comment kakra na me nsanso mbra so na ye mfa nkomo no ensi about next week no na o de ahwe die na si ye ma judges ne efiri o ma ahemfo ne bae na die na si ye ahemfo no nso echi no afi de o ma nu be chemienu na ye be hu Jeroboam ye hu Rehoboam sa history no ye pese oboa ne ye te ase okay enti intempa ma menfa commenter aba no eye nua Richard ni okan o say watching live from Offenso Namon ye da sepa Offenso fo nyina ye chiamo ye be share say mo be share ma obi bi o ho no na yakoso asua de ye nua na osade ba say great lesson keep up the good works God bless you so much for watching too. Isaac Tete say watching live. Yeda say Ebra Isaac. Bibia will be and yenuanom so a ebi mu nam kwan so kofi omufi camp na se no omo nam kwan so munya ndu fie but me hu say e wo ma na ebi mu aba na ebi mu afi so ya network ne mmoa omo njomo ba na omo ko nyame nka mo na mu nkodu aso Michael simaka krede ye no obekwa na yede ewi.
Okay, enti said ya wokan no ye beti boase na ya kyerɛkyerɛ mu because we Judaism ho asɛm na ye ka no na unim say ye ka Christosum Christianity was built upon sa nneɛma na happen in Judaism na ebe wie ma Christosum hyɛ ase nti ye ka say ye kɔhwɛ Christosum a Christosum ye hyɛ ase ye hyɛ ase from Acts chapter 2 enti Bible no dey aka nyina like from even before Acts chapter 2, no, Sunday may occur in no. A bit like say it happened abroad now Judaism, very, very popular and very important. Inti Matthias, inti yebe to your moase na ya chirichimo, ba di America no bebrebe na ne say Judaism no ne nhyase ana ne beginning ni nyina Abraham. Aha, because enam Abraham so eno Nyankopon e de benya Jew for no. Nti Abraham no Nyankopon ka say obema no asase, land promise. Eno Nyankopon Emma Okache no say obe create oman out of Abraham, a nation. And now from nation no so yesua be do Exodus chapter 2 ehun say Onyankopon say obema omo land no obema mo obema omo aye nation dia. And all day law no e den e ka omo ho. Na sa law no mu na ye ka say eno na ye ngina so a ekyerɛkyerɛ Israel for no about religious matters asɛdeɛ ɔmo ne Onyankopɔn a ɔyi ɔmo no ɔmo bɛsom ɔmo som ne saa nneɛma nneɛma no nyinaa ɛyɛ the law no Onyankopɔn de ma Israel for no ɛnum ɛna Judaism yehu the beginnings of Judaism nti ɛnu ho asɛm na meka na me keka kɔ a me nduru beebi a ɛwɔ sɛ yɛde si ha nti nyame yɛ adom a yes nyame yɛ adom a yɛbɛnya brɛ na yahwehwɛ saa nneɛma yi na Judaism is very interesting and in the end no sɛ bɛwie no yɛbɛte nneɛma bi ase ama yɛ Christians mpo no sometimes some people nkurɔfoɔ tumi tena ase wɔn fi sɛ anka yɛnyaeɛ a na yɛsan wɔ Jewfoɔ som no mu but ɛno deɛ ɛnyɛ adeɛ a megye di sɛ wo a wɔasua things about Judaism wobɛpɛ sɛ wobɛsan kɔ saa ɔsom no mu nti wo deɛ aha na mede bɛsi nyame yɛ adom a yɛbɛtoa so.
Yada asipa Onyankopɔn onhyia adɔfo ɛhwɛ ne wɔn a bɛhwɛ no in the future nyinaa no yɛka sɛ Onyankopɔn onhyia bibia na wakae na wasubscribe na washare video no ama foforɔ sɛ ne bɛyɛ a bibia bɛkɔ live na nso nsa tumi aka dwumadie no don't forget sɛ Onyankopɔn hyia ne yɛte nkwama next week yɛ no bɛhyia biom ne yɛdi nkɔmmɔ Sunday 3 p.m. na yɛdi nkɔmmɔ. So when you download the Spotlight on the way the app or Play Store and App Store now, but more than you download na you know in share one and so yeah that's it. It makes sense we share of you Nyankopon Adoma next week. Ya kramo.